Network. Now introducing your hosts, Jay Johnson's Cowboy Cody Slovinsky, Vandy Chris Keenhold, and Mr. Cheesy himself, Randy Jewers. Let's start the show, boys!
Welcome in. It's my favorite time of week, time of year. It is the SEC Baseball Tournament. I am your host, Cody Slovinsky, joined as always by Vandy Chris, and tonight we've got a good show for you. We are going to talk about the SEC Baseball Tournament, the action we saw today, the action that's to come, talk about the weather cancellation. Always happens in Hoover. We're going to talk about coach firings, coach potential hirings, who's going to resign, who's going to stay. A lot to talk about. We're going to discuss the final rankings of the regular season, who we think can join the tournament, who we think's out. Because some stuff happened today, and I'm on the fence about it on who's going to go. And I know there's one topic Chris wants to discuss, and that's the all SEC teams. So, Chris, how you feeling tonight, my friend?
I have a lot of complaints about the all SEC teams. There's certainly some deserving guys that have been left off, some questionable placements of some people, and we'll get into that and much more later on in the show. But right now, it's postseason baseball.
It
You
is.
got all the conference tournaments going on, and just to let everybody know, in our baseball group, College Baseball Smack, we take pride in postseason baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
So every year, what we do, we'll make a post for all of the automatic qualifiers that when they win their conference tournament and they're automatically in the tournament, we have one post, and each team that wins their conference tournament and automatically qualifies gets a comment on the post identifying who they are, what their conference is, and with the NCAA baseball provided image that they put out on social media when they clinch these things, we'll put that image in that comment for each team. We take great pride in doing that. Looking forward to see who all gets in that list this year.
Absolutely. And one thing I think we're going to try to do this year too is that I know D1 baseball does a pick 'em for the tournament. So
Yep.
we'll have to create a group, and whoever watches this show with us, we'll have to get you in there, join us for it. Have it, it's for fun. I mean, if there's enough interest, we could make it worth your while. But for now, it'd probably be just something we do for fun. But yeah, man,
I have
Chris,
all these. I got all these posters. I'm ready
I
to
was
give
about to
away to
say,
somebody.
absolutely. Absolutely. So this morning, 9:30 a.m. Central Time, started the SEC tournament, and we saw Alabama take on Missouri in actually a very competitive game. Tyler Fay did very well for Bama, starting for them today. Really shut down Missouri's offense. Ninth inning gets here, Missouri starts to make a threat. They get the bases loaded on an error by the first baseman at Bama, which was really he just tried to throw it to second for a double play, hit the runner in the back. It happens. But totally redeemed himself literally on the next at bat, a shot that honestly could have cleared the bases. And if not cleared them, at least scored two. Great diving catch to stop it. And then the next batter flies out. Had he not stopped that, that game would have gone to extra innings more than likely. But Alabama held strong, didn't waste a lot of pitching today, and they move on to tomorrow. And right now, the talk is a lot of people want Riley Quick to pitch tomorrow. He's their guy, and rumor had it is that he was not going to pitch because he would be going on technically 4.5 days rest, which is risky for a starting pitcher because
I
in the
wouldn't
last
pitch him.
yeah, so that would mean that he would be appearing in 3 games in the matter of 2 weeks. And that's a lot.
Because he
And
just pitched Saturday.
yeah, so he had 87 pitches 2 weeks ago. He had like 85 Saturday. And then honestly, he'd probably go another 80. So you're looking at like 250 pitches in 2 weeks, plus his bullpen sessions. That's a lot of throws. And so I think they're probably I want to say they're not going to do it, but he's really been trying to get the coaches to let him go tomorrow. It's hard to say no to the hometown kid. He went to Hewitt-Trussville High School, which is about 30 minutes away from the Hoover Mets, so I get it. He wants to pitch there. I totally understand. And they lose tomorrow, they're out, and he doesn't get the chance. So I get it. I do. Um, but there's a lot on the line for Alabama and Tennessee tomorrow. Tomorrow is actually a big game. And people may not see it that way, but I do. And the reason I see it that way, and tell me if I'm wrong on this, but I feel that the winner of this essentially could lock up a top 16 seed officially.
So I personally think Tennessee's already got one locked up. But I was reading through some Kendall Rogers tweets today. Did you know that no team in the SEC that has won 16 games has ever not hosted a region?
That's interesting. But we've also never had 16 teams in the conference, so I think that could make a difference.
I don't know that. I don't think Alabama deserves to host.
I'm not going to argue that.
I think Tennessee's already locked that up. But to be safe, I think Tennessee should win at least one, maybe two games, just to make sure they're locked in.
Absolutely. And it makes me wonder. I asked Randy earlier, I don't think he saw my question to him, is does AJ Russell go for Tennessee tomorrow? I think that could be a very good option for them, actually.
I mean, I don't know that he's ever gone over one inning this year, has he?
He's made it. He went over an inning against LSU. Didn't work out, unfortunately, but he did better than who came after him.
There's your answer. If you need to win a game, you're not going to go with the guy that's only going to get you one inning.
Yeah, absolutely. Game 2 today. So Jody has a comment. Chris, you see that under your face right there? We got comments on the screen tonight, so we don't miss any. He says, "So Kentucky, do they deserve a bid? I think not." Well, today they played Oklahoma. Oklahoma played some very good baseball today. I feel like for me, I actually do not think Kentucky deserves to get in at this point. That win-loss record is not good. I know they've hit the threshold of the required wins of what it has looked like to get into the tournament.
But they haven't.
They're over 13 is what I'm saying.
They're 13.
Exactly. So or they're at the threshold.
50% of 13-win teams in the SEC have been left out.
Sure. And I think after today, that could put them on the lower end of the 50% because.
But how do you judge today versus 2 weeks ago when they swept Oklahoma?
It's true. It's a good point. But
what matters more?
Well, I think Oklahoma's already in. I think they're locked in. Their record's good. They have some good wins out of conference to help them, get into the tournament. I think Oklahoma is safe. I don't think there's a question there. And I think today, if they were even on the bubble of getting in, I think today solidified for them. I think they're in.
Mm-hmm.
But Kentucky, though, with their win-loss record, I think, what are they, 29-24, 29-23, something like that? Not a very good win-loss record. It's been a down season for them. They've had very high moments.
It's not a down season. Stop it.
That is a down season. Almost finishing 500 overall is a down season.
Go back
considering where they were last year.
Okay, they had one good season. That doesn't make that the consistency level.
No, but this is a down year.
They're normally a 12 to 14 SEC wins. Mm-hmm. That's normally where they're at. This is a normal year for them.
Sure. Let me look at the Kentucky history real quick because I want to make sure I'm on my P's and Q's with this one. Let's see what we got here.
They had a pitcher a couple years ago. I think he was a 6'8" kid.
Oh, that kid was good.
That had them like 15, 16 SEC wins.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. All right. So they've made the NCAA tournament the last 2 years. And before 23, the last one before that was 2017, then 2014 before that. So 2 years in a row, they've made the tournament. 2023, I believe they made it to the Super where they played LSU and lost. College World Series last year. So, I mean, they've had some success recently. They've won 3 regionals in the last 8 years. That's pretty good for a team that's not known as a baseball school. I mean, that's pretty dang good. So, I mean, last year they won the regular season SEC championship. So, it is a down year for them compared to what they've done the last 2 years. We'll say that. I think that's a fair thing to say.
Okay. So, 2022, 12-18.
Mm-hmm.
21, 12-18.
Mm-hmm.
29, 7-23. 2018, 13-17. Then you get the 2017 team that had, what was his name? Hygiel or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
19-11. 16, 15-15. 15, 14-15.
What'd they
14,
finish 23 and 24?
23 and 24.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, they 16 and 14, and
Okay.
then 22 and 8. They
22 and 8 was really impressive.
They had one great year. That
Yeah.
doesn't make them.
No. I'm
That's
not.
not their level.
No, I'm not saying, and I promise I'm not saying that. I'm saying this year is a down year compared to what they've done the last 2 years. I say that's fair to say.
Stretching it on the year before.
Sure. But
16 and 14 is in that normal range.
yeah, absolutely. But either way, though, I say this year's team does not deserve to be in the NCAA tournament. I mean, they have arguments over some of the series they've stolen, but I just don't. Had they gone into the Vandy series and done something, we'd be having a different conversation right now. We'd just be saying Kentucky's out; they'll be playing next week. Right now, it's like, will they be playing next week?
To be fair, Vanderbilt had that series circled for
Oh,
a
absolutely.
reason, because there was a lot of chirping that went on last year, and I'm just saying, Kentucky played well.
Yeah.
Probably should have won 2 out of 3. Maybe
Yeah.
should have won all 3 of them, if we're
All
being
right.
honest.
So Terry needs a burger theme. Terry, I got you one right now. It's the SEC baseball tournament. Actually, it's conference tournaments in general. How about you make us a Southeastern burger? I like that idea.
I don't want none of that poppy seed bullshit that you normally, or guacamole baby poop.
Nah,
I don't
we're in
want
the
none of
South.
that
We
stuff.
need grease and heart attacks is what we need for this burger, my friend.
Maybe a little bit of spice, but not everybody likes that hot stuff.
Honestly, hey, I tell you what you could do for
Maybe a little
inspiration.
Tabasco.
Here's some inspiration right here. Look at your top 4 seeds in the SEC. You have Texas, you have Arkansas, you have Vanderbilt, you have LSU. So Baton Rouge, Nashville, whatever they have in Arkansas, they just leech off of Texas for food. And then you have Texas. Combine those for a burger, and that is the burger I want.
So let's see.
What's up, Dominic?
Nashville, some good barbecue or Nashville hot chicken. Texas, obviously, some smoked brisket.
Beef ribs.
Arkansas, I mean, they have
Like I
the
said,
rally coon there.
I'm about to say they got that. I mean, I hate to say it, but is Arkansas known for any special cuisine? Or do they just feed off of North Louisiana and Texas dishes?
Louisiana's got the Cajun.
Yep.
Frog legs. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, because realistically,
figure it out, Terry.
Here is what I'm thinking of when this pops into my head is I'm thinking of a brisket burger with pulled pork, crawfish, and
no crawfish.
You gotta have crawfish.
No.
That's the Baton Rouge specialty.
No, I'll give you Cajun, no crawfish.
You can put some crawfish etouffee. No, they're not. It tastes just like shrimp.
It's nasty.
Come on, man. You just ain't eating it right.
Nasty.
I love me some crawfish.
Nasty.
Or you could add some Parmesan and pepper, like our friends at Chinook Seedery have. Some very good seeds, the best seeds ever.
I still ain't got mine.
I know. That being said, I did get in touch with the hat people, so we finally cooking on that one. Which, by the way, if you want anything from Hoover this week, let me know and I got you. Probably not getting you a shirt though, because those son of a guns are like $40 minimum. So I love you and all, but man, that's I'm not paying $40 for a shirt. Even though this year's shirts are really cool.
Yeah, fair.
I'll get you a hat pin for $5. Or I'll get you the free koozie from the Regions booth.
You won't get me the hat pin that I've already got.
There you go.
You can't get them. They were specially made, and I'm given one.
So, fun fact, we've actually every year that my wife has been able to go with me to the tournament, she's gotten a hat pin, and she's got a hat that's just loaded with them, and it's really cool. But nah, this is a special year 30 for me at the tournament. Very excited to do it, and man, I just can't wait. They do, Jody. They do. You're just not eating them right, man. But I love crawfish. But to me, like, I don't know. I've always thought crawfish and shrimp tasted the same. In gumbos, I like to have crawfish thrown in it because it just goes with it. But I don't know. Maybe we'll disagree. That's fine. I don't care. So Chris, what do you think about these comments popping up on the screen? I kind of like it.
The mud bugs don't taste like shrimp.
Also, rest in peace to George Wendt, also known as Norm on Cheers, one of my favorite shows ever. I saw a comment that said when he got to the pearly gates, all the angels were going to be saying Norm. So, yeah. No, he was a good actor. I always respected that man. So, I had to do a quick shout out to him here. All right. Let's get to it real quick. Let's look at our top 25 going into the postseason. LSU stays at number 1 after winning the series against South Carolina. Texas at 2 after winning the series with OU. UNC, after winning the series with FSU, goes to 3. That was a team I was questionable about. I knew they were good, but I just didn't know how good, and I feel like they answered my question over the weekend. But I can't take away anything from Florida State because it's not that they're bad. It was just that UNC was just on it over the weekend. Good on them. All right, Oregon at number 4 though. I'm sorry, I can't. They lost a series to Ohio State. And at this point, I can't trust the team that did that. I know Oregon is a good team. Don't get me wrong, but I can't buy into it.
I'm just going to put this out there. Any poll, and you heard me correctly, any poll that has Oregon State ahead of Oregon will not be credible. Yeah.
That's very flawed because Oregon State lost, 4 in a row to Oregon?
4-0 this year.
The answer is all you need to know.
I'm okay with Oregon at 4. I mean, that's a good baseball club there.
Yeah. Now, with Oregon State, I respect their team. They had a fun schedule this year, but even though it was fun, it was also not the hardest schedule you could ask for. Their RPI held up pretty well because they did have some tough games mixed in there, but they had a lot of cupcakes in there, unfortunately. Arkansas 5, Florida State 6, then you got Auburn at 8, Vandy at 9, Georgia at 10. I'm okay with that.
See, I actually think they got those 3 in the right order.
Yeah, I think that's 100% fair. I do. And
okay, Terry, I'll AI that mess. You got to send it to our the chat that you share with me and Cody.
Yeah, copy and paste that to the chat, and then we can make that happen. Coastal at 11. I like them at 11. Their midweek series win, or just their midweek win over Clemson that they had. They sold out their stadium for it. It was a cool environment. Very happy for Coastal. I think they were picked to finish like 3rd or 4th in their conference by a lot of people, and they actually ended up just doing very well this year. Very good team on them. Coastal's a team that I would not want to be playing in the postseason. That's a dangerous team.
It's not who I'm afraid of.
I know you're going to say Northeastern, but I respect them.
God.
They're just on a run right now, and they ain't stopping for nobody. And I respect it, 100% respect it, because they are good. But we're going to find out just how good here next week. Southern Miss, they ended Troy's run of not losing a single series all year. That deserves some props, 100%. Terry's UCLA Bruins, though, whew.
I think they're up to 15 straight, 14 straight, something like that.
Yeah, they're cooking.
USM is?
Yep. Good time to be hot. Hopefully, it doesn't fade off for him because it's hard to maintain that winning like 15 in a row. I mean, that's not easy to maintain at all. UCLA at 13, Clemson 14. Clemson, I hate to say it, they've kind of fallen off. The last few weeks have just not been good to them. Florida Gators coming in at 15, arguably one of the hottest teams in the country right now. I'd say maybe 1A, 1B with Vanderbilt because Vanderbilt's been really hot as of late. Georgia Tech wins the ACC. They come in at 16, which is absolutely crazy and the reason Georgia Tech is not ranked higher than 16 is because they lost like 7 in a row in April, and that was a tough stretch for them. But the fact they were able to bounce back and still win the conference, that's absolutely amazing. But also another thing to consider too is Georgia Tech had one of the absolute easiest roads in the ACC. So it is what it is. They are the champs. It's done. Ole Miss comes off a strong series win against Auburn. They're coming at 17. DBU staying consistent at 18. Hottest team in the country in terms of win streak. Northeastern at 19. UCI at 20. 21 Tennessee, who is just, man, they just can't get it together to pull out a series win. They've really been struggling. And you would think by looking at their fan base that this team had a below 500 record because of the way they're playing, but it's not over yet. Chinook Seedery, what is going on? Welcome in. All right, we got.
There's my guys.
Heck yeah. NC State at 22, another team that's just they've been hit and miss the last few weeks. They kind of fell off at the end, but hey, they stayed consistent into the rankings. Good for them. Bama, another team good team, still falling off a little bit, but it is, yeah. Yeah, Tennessee's getting hit hard tonight. And that weather line is just weird too, because I don't know what it's going to end up doing down here. I mean, I'm just 20 minutes south of the Met, but I was happy that they called the game tonight, by the way.
I was lucky. By the time the second wave got here, it had broken up. We didn't get much out of the second wave. So we had a couple sky ropes hanging around when that first set of storms came in. So
absolutely. Yes. So Thursday and Friday, I'm going to be at the Met for the tournament, and I'm going to have a backpack full of seeds with me, and I'm just going to be handing these suckers out.
See, my only issue is I'm going to my grandson's ball game again Friday night. I ain't got no seeds to give him.
You had 2 bags.
Yeah, I bought them this morning.
Well, there you go. So go-to flavor as of late has been Parmesan and pepper, and it's been the cinnamon toast. Those two are my absolute just go-tos lately. Obviously, Hatch chili is goated to me, but I eat them so much that I had to take a little bit of a break. And Parmesan pepper is just that I can't put those down. Like my desk at work, they hate me because all I do is eat sunflower seeds all day. I can't help it.
The toast is, that's mine.
It's so good. I did try the dill pickle with the sour Skittles, by the way.
Okay.
It is actually better than I thought it would be. I thought it would be absolutely weird, but no, I understand it. So the lemon peppers, that one I have yet to get, and I'm going to buy some actually because they had I believe there's a gas station near me that sells it. I found out recently, so I'm excited. But no, the dill pickle and the sour Skittles, it's not bad. I would give it probably all right. So on a scale of 1 to 10 of all the flavors, I give like Hatch chili and I give Parmesan pepper a 10 because I just love the flavor. Cinnamon toast, I give a 9.5. Dill pickle, I'm like a 9 on it, but I gave it like a 6.5 with the combo with the Skittles. I probably wouldn't do it again, but it's not bad. It's really not bad at all. Let's see. TCU 24, Kansas at 25. Which shout out Dan Fitzgerald, by the way, getting Coach of the Year in the Big 12. Very happy for that program. That program made a lot of dollar dogs, by the way. Oh, Alex Day is the man. I love chatting with him on X. He is the man, and I know he's the Hatch chili connoisseur. So
Okay.
yes, Hatch chili's goated. I mean, it is. Oh, Terry says his buddy likes the lemon pepper seeds. There you go. Which, hey, I get it. I mean, hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr.'s flavor. I mean, you gotta like it. Let's just be real. All right, let's move on a little bit. Let's get to the. Oh gosh, I cannot even see that at
What in
all.
the world
That
is
graphic look.
that?
That's the tournament. It looked better on my computer than it does right now on my screen. Oh man, double buys. Oh, so people are going to call me crazy on my double buys, but obviously 1 seed is going Hatch chili, 2 seed parm pepper, 3 seed I am going with mm, I'll do cinnamon toast 3 seed because I haven't had the lemon pepper yet, so that one has an asterisk next to it. My 4 seed though, and this is absolute nonsense to some, but I'm going original. I love just plain sunflower seeds. So those are my double buys in the tournament.
That's your double buys, huh?
Yes, but see, it's hard to rank them though because, like, bias aside, I genuinely like all the flavors. I have not. I don't have. There's not one I have not liked because, like, the barbecue, that one could also be in the top 4 because it's just that good. Yes, OG till you die. I mean, absolutely. Because I mean, they're just. I mean, they just have. I don't know. It's just like that natural flavor. And the one thing that it says on the packaging is, you don't get sandpaper tongue, and that is true. And I'm talking about, I load my cheeks up with these things too. And God, that didn't sound good. But
So
I'd never get the sandpaper tongue.
my double buys:
Okay.
cinnamon toast,
Okay.
smokehouse barbecue,
Okay.
dill pickle, and lemon pepper.
I like it. 100% like it. Whoa. Mixed barbecue and cinnamon toast. I'm 100% doing that tomorrow, actually. Good Lord, that sounds delicious.
Yes.
So one thing that I like, and obviously I'm not here to like promote nicotine products, but the coffee zen while eating the cinnamon toast is heavenly. I've learned that one recently, and that has been very,
I would
very
not have put the
good.
combination of siege and coffee together. I just
Well, so the Zen pouch is just coffee flavored. So basically, when you put it in your upper lip, I mean, the coffee flavor is in your mouth, and you can swallow it. And do that with the cinnamon. Oh, it's good. Very, very good.
I mean,
So
I get it. My go-to cappuccino is a cinnamon French vanilla.
I gotcha. All right. So I could do the regular bracket, but I'll go ahead and go to our predicted brackets. Mine's right here, and then we have Chris's next. Obviously, it's common sense who were picked. Oh, nice. The YouTube channel chat. Much appreciated. That's where we need to get more views at. Like when we do just basic uploads, we
Hmm.
get decent views. But when we do a live stream, it is hit and miss on the views there. And that is a one area that we need more people and much appreciated.
Hmm.
Um, so Chris, obviously you took Vanderbilt. Obviously I took LSU because I mean, if we pick against your own team, I mean it's not good to do.
So, to be honest, up until today, when I found out that Corbin's going with J.D. Thompson, I was under the impression that he was going to throw off and throw Austin Nye
Yeah,
in
I
the
remember
first
that.
game
Yeah.
because all year long they have not pitched J.D. Thompson on short rest or on a Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So I was under the impression they were going to go Austin Nye in the first game because nothing Vanderbilt does in the tournament is going to change their national seed. Their
For
top
sure.
8 seed, they're locked in. It's not going to help them.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt them if they lose either.
Absolutely.
So, uh, I originally had them losing their first game with Austin Nye on the mound.
Sure.
He's only had one SEC appearance, and it was not good. Gave up 5 runs in 2/3 of an inning.
Yeah.
So I was under the impression he was going to go, and I was just going to mark that one off as one and done. Go home, rest your arms, get ready for the big boy tournament.
Absolutely.
But I found out J.D. Thompson is going, if Tennessee throws Doyle in game 1, I really like our chances.
I just don't think they go Doyle.
I mean, if you have to win a game to lock up a national seed, top 16, are you going to go Doyle or are you going to throw off? Because obviously, beyond Doyle, their pitching has not been good the last 6 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. They have struggled. All right, so we have a good question here. Who's the tournament MOP going to be? So for me, I think there are a few guys that you could really look at to potentially get this nod. But one guy that I'm going to say that may not even be mentioned is Brody Donay from Florida. He had a great game today. He's a really good bat for them. I think he could be like a sleeper for that pick. I think an easy pick you could say is maybe Jace Lavallee if A&M moves on. But biased me though, I'm gonna ride with who's hot in Hoover, and that has been Stephen Milam. His 2 years at LSU. Last year, great tournament for him. This year, he's kind of gotten a little bit hot at the end of the season. Already has a great glove in the field. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling a Monster Milam tournament.
So here's where I'm at on Florida. They've been on such a run with their backs against the wall, and they've had to play day 1.
Yep.
I'm not going to be shocked if they lose to Ole Miss tomorrow.
Very possible.
Yes, they didn't burn up very many pitchers today.
Not at all. They only used 3.
But your starter only made it through 4 at 60 pitches.
True, but as you see right there, you can't count out Sully. You just can't. You can't.
You can't count them out. Definitely you can't count them out. But at some point, they're going to hit a wall. You can see it coming.
Sure.
They probably should have lost 2 out of 3 to Alabama this weekend. Alabama just gave it. Their pen didn't hold the lead for them.
Yeah, I would say game 1 was the one you thought Bama was going to win, and it just didn't happen. Taylor Hamilton says with Thompson and Hawks pitching in same game with the way Vandy has been hitting, they can beat anyone.
Yeah.
It's true. And look, right there, started 1-11, no wall scares them. I mean, that's also true, though. I mean, the way they bounced back and the fact that, Florida had all the injuries that they have currently it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of your main guys, and they went in today and they coasted. I mean, it didn't even look like they had to even put up much effort to win today.
Who they playing, though?
True. Very true. I mean, it was very sad to see the South Carolina stadium taken over by LSU fans the way it was over the weekend. That should never happen. I don't care how bad they are. It genuinely it kind of made me a little bit sad in a way because that's just not something you see in South Carolina. As historic as their program is, I mean, especially in this century, it's just, I don't know. It just didn't feel right to me. I mean, obviously I was all for it as a fan, but.
And here's another thing on Florida, right? So they've gone 14-4 down the stretch in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
But when you take a good look at what they've done, 6 of those 14 wins come against Missouri and South Carolina, the absolute worst of the worst in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
And now they played South Carolina again today.
Sure.
Granted, they had series wins against Arkansas and Texas. I get it. But the schedule also gave them plenty of breaks to, where they weren't expending a lot of energy to beat some of these teams.
Yeah. And one problem too with like South Carolina is when you hire Maneri, who has been out of the game for a few seasons, has never had to really coach in the NIL era. I mean, obviously he was around the LSU program, so he was well aware of what was going on in the current landscape of baseball. It's not easy to go take over a program like that and instantly have them where they need to be. Now, the way they finished was way below where they should have finished with the talent that they have. I mean, when you have a guy like Ethan Petrie, I mean, that's a guy that you need to build around. And the fact that Paul said that he hadn't really even talked to Petrie much lately, man, to me that wasn't a good quote to put out there.
Nope.
But I mean, looking at your bracket though, you got your first three correct today. You got A&M riding on it, maybe. We'll find out tomorrow morning. Then you got Tennessee beating Bama. You got Georgia beating Oklahoma. You have Ole Miss beating Florida. You have Auburn beating A&M. I can see that. I can definitely see it. And then after that, you got Tennessee upsetting Texas. I mean, that's technically an upset, which, by the way, let me just say something. I absolutely – what?
You called Texas struggling down the stretch.
Yeah, I did. I knew it was coming. So I don't like that they have their logos next to each other and they're both the T logo. That is going to throw so many people off. I mean, obviously, like, majority of fans should obviously know the difference, but there's going to be some be like, why is there two Tennessee logos up there? I already know there's going to be. Worst season, Mizzou or SC? I'm going to say South Carolina had a worse season than Missouri. And the reason I say that is because
expectations.
Yes. So expectations-wise, but also the fact that South Carolina pumps more money into their baseball program than Mizzou does. Mizzou admitted to not pumping enough money into the program. It definitely cost them this year because Carrick Jackson's actually a very good coach, in my opinion. I think he could lead that team to a good place. But if he doesn't have the financial backing in this era, you can't succeed, especially in this conference. Too many good teams to have no money put into your program, which, let's be real, we kind of see that with LSU softball, but that's a conversation for a different day.
I'm going to go scorched earth on Missouri.
Oh, God.
They just had a massive donation from a private donor, and every penny of it went to swimming and track.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, maybe
Why?
That's your donor's wishes, maybe.
Okay, donors' wishes, but why aren't you out here trying to get money for a Missouri was in the College World Series as recently as 2008.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this to this program?
That's a good point.
Why did you not give Tony Vitello a chance to interview for this job?
See, that one is the one that I think that if you look back on, if you do a job review over, hey, let's look at your hires over the last few years. The fact they had a chance at Tony Vitello and didn't take it, considering Tony was one of the top assistants in the country when he was a candidate or wanted to be a candidate for the job and wouldn't consider it, that's just ridiculous. Because you know that he wanted to be at Missouri originally. I mean, obviously now he's very happy where he is, and I don't think there's anything outside of doubling his salary that would take him out of Knoxville at this point, unless he had desires to be a professional coach. But I don't know how he feels about that.
Let's say a guy like Tanner Houck comes out.
Okay.
You know, Major League Baseball pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
What if he comes in and says, hey, I will personally pay our head coach $5 million a year. You go get Tony Vitello now, and I'll pay him out of my own pocket.
You can't say no to that.
Do you go home when home calls?
I mean, if they offer money like that, it's hard to say no. And it would be a new challenge because I feel like last year, Tony got everything he ever set out to do as a coach. He got to start at the bottom, build them up, win a championship. Mm-hmm. Does he want to do it again? Doubt it. I think he kind of wants to ride the success and, you know.
So look where Missouri's at, facilities and fan base wise.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee was in the same place.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now it's one of the rowdiest stadiums in the entire nation, bar none. Yes, yeah. I understand there's the Dish, and there's Alex Box, and there's the Taj Mahal, and there's the hog pen over there. But make
Everything's
no
different,
mistake,
though. Everything's different.
Tennessee is rowdy, rowdy, rowdy.
Exactly. The way their stadium's built is perfect for them.
Yep. So
So it works out.
when we talk about Missouri, you have to talk about facilities.
Mm-hmm.
People talk so much junk about Vanderbilt's football stadium. Well, guess what? Have you been to Como? Their football stadium is in worse shape than Vanderbilt. Their
Yep.
baseball stadium is one of the worst in Power 5.
To be fair, though, their baseball stadium is not terrible, though.
Oh,
But
it's horrible.
no, it's not
It's
terrible.
horrible. It's
I mean,
horrible.
it's not up to the standards of what it should be, but it's still a pretty nice little setup for them.
Connecticut's got a better stadium than Missouri.
Well, Connecticut has a good stadium. I mean, that's known.
So,
And that being said, we can't compare anyone to Vanderbilt because Vanderbilt is clearly pumping money into their programs with an S on that. So I mean, there is no we can't compare anything that because they're coming to the upper echelon and everything in sports right now.
So you leave Vanderbilt out. There's still Missouri's got the worst facilities in Power 5 or Power 4.
I'm not going to agree with that one. I can't.
Name a Power 4 baseball program that's got better facilities than Missouri or worse facilities than Missouri.
I mean, I feel like
Power 4.
I feel like you could probably go to the Big 12 or the Big 10 and find that.
I can assure you Northwestern baseball has got better facilities than Missouri baseball.
I think this is a topic that we're going to have to fully research and come with a fair argument without going off the top of our heads of what we've seen. I think we both need to research this heavily, and like next week on the show, we actually debate this because I think this is fair. I think this is a very fair argument to have. Chris Joseph, my brother, congratulations to your Sooners today. Very, very good win.
I mean,
hey, Rutgers, Terry, is about to be on the up and up. They hired a very, very good president for their university. They took LSU's president. That man is sports focused. He puts a lot of support into the athletic programs. Very good get for Rutgers. Shout out to them.
And I appreciate Chinook talking about Vandy's limited, but they've made it completely Vandy. Yeah, we have. I mean,
and he says in a good way.
Yes, very much in a good way. I can't wait until the upgrades to Hawkins Field are done. That's going to be really nice compared to what we've had. And if you remember when Corbin got here, it was a mud hole that was tucked underneath a football stadium that had no outfield wall. Yeah. And now look at it. We're fixing to have double-decker seating in the outfield, 360 fan experience where you can walk from the outfield to the infield and not leave the stadium.
Yep.
You're going to have seats on top of the green monster. Come on, man.
It's going to be nice. Hey, yes. Terry's about to go crazy if you don't show his burger, by the way.
I typed it into Grok and it didn't come up with anything good.
Hold on, I'll do it because I've got a way to come up with that, by the way. Let's see here. All right. Copy. All right. I'll use Meta and see what they come up with because I think that could be good. But no, moving on in this tournament, though. Tomorrow, great list of games. I'm going to pull up my graphic of my picks. See, now you're getting to my heart. Lynn Rollins is absolutely my favorite. He has the absolute best one-liners that I have ever seen or heard, per se, in baseball. Like, I mean, these are great. So recently saying Anthony Ianson could throw a tater tot through an onion ring might be my all-time favorite line of his. I think this offseason I need to go and pull a bunch of his sound clips and make a graphic, or not graphic, but a video with all his calls. Because this year, I feel like he had some of his most legendaries. He had one with Bear Jones this year when he hit his walk-off against Tennessee. that was really good about witness protection and all that. I can't remember the exact quote off the top of my head. Very good stuff. Let's see. Hush puppy bun, brisket on the bottom, Cajun crawfish in the middle, and Nashville hot chicken tenders, side of pickles. So I think we might have a burger here, my friends. Why is it not saving? Save. There we go. All right. Image is saved. I'm uploading now.
So you're talking about announcers. I think Andrew Allegretti has had his best year ever at Vanderbilt. He's had some incredible one-liners this year. I don't remember them all. But personally, my favorite that I've always enjoyed listening to is Joe Fisher, the former play-by-play guy at Vanderbilt. When we went to the World Series in 2014, 2015, I loved listening to Joe Fisher call those games. I hate what happened to him there, but he's been mad about it. He's been through what he had to deal with. He's back to calling college athletics. I love it. Joe Fisher is one of my favorites.
Absolutely. So this one right here, Jordan Schwinn, he's tougher than a green pine cone. I love that. God. And yes, him with Ben McDonald is my preference because, and what's weird is he actually calls a lot of Auburn games as well. And that was weird for me to hear, but he does not say pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye. He says fly, war eagle, fly when they hit a home run. So I much appreciate him keeping that in Baton Rouge because that is much needed. That said, here's Terry's Burger, by the way. I'd like to throw this out there. Brisket on the bottom.
That's not a hush puppy bun.
We're going to pretend that's a hush puppy bun, my friend. Crawfish in the middle, and then you got Nashville hot chicken on top, side of pickles. That looks like a heart attack waiting to happen that I want to find out.
Change that crawfish to shrimp, and you got me in.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
So Taylor brings up a great point. Tony Kemp being a box for Vandy this year, that was really, really cool. I think he's got a future in broadcasting.
Yeah, and hey, shout out to him on an absolutely amazing baseball career. He announced his retirement recently. He had one of the absolute best careers you could ask for from college to pros. I mean, he won't make like a professional Hall of Fame or anything like that more than likely, but he was very consistent in all his years, and hats off to him seriously for an absolutely amazing career.
So, and there's something about that. If you can always tell what kind of person a guy is when they go into retirement from professional athletics. Every single professional athlete that he's ever played with or been associated with had nothing but positive things to say about him, wishing him good luck in his retirement.
Yeah. All right, so I'm laughing. GBP twerking. Trust me, you do not want to see me twerking. Oh, I'm going to say Price had the better MLB career
as a whole. He won a World Series.
Sure. But I mean, but he was very consistent on the mound. He was a very good pitcher. But with Kemp, I really liked his defensive play. He was a very consistent bat, did not strike out a lot. Like he'd get on base all the time. He was just a very, very
durable grinder.
Yes. That is 100% it. And I know, Chris, you remember when he was in college, I always would say, I hate when I see Tony Kemp play because I know he's going to do something. Like I dreaded it because he was just that good.
And just think, because of Tony Kemp, there was another player in Major League that's really good that did not go to Vanderbilt.
Who?
Think about it. He was originally a Vanderbilt commit, and then he realized he's not going to play over Tony Kemp. So then he pulled his commitment, committed to Tennessee, and then never went to campus because he was drafted in the first round.
Who?
From Franklin, Tennessee.
Who?
Think about it. Figure it out.
My brain is not working in that way
Oh,
tonight.
you know exactly who it is.
I mean, when you say it, I'm like, oh, right. So who is it?
You ain't figured it out yet.
I have no idea. Oh, is it Mookie?
Okay, now it took you long enough.
No, I read Chinook's answer on there because I totally forgot. I forgot all about him. I didn't
He did
realize
not.
I didn't realize he committed to Tennessee after decommitting from Vandy.
Yes.
Okay.
And the only reason he pulled his commitment was because of Tony Camp.
I mean, honestly, I think he might have started over him. To be honest.
That's wild.
Yeah. Which I think he made the right choice
and
of
that
going.
tells you something about the talent that Tim Corbin can recruit.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Chinook's over here on every outlet watching.
I like this.
I love this.
I do too. So, Chris, our SEC tournament picks are a lot different than each other. So you have A&M, I have Mississippi State. I'm riding the wave of State being hot. That's why I have them moving on. And I'm going to ride that into them upsetting Auburn because I highly doubt Auburn throws Dutton on Wednesday or tomorrow. I do not see that happening. So
Fair.
Chris Joseph says that he will be at the tournament potentially tomorrow to see him because their game got moved to 4:30. If that's the case, good Lord, is that going to be a late game for State and Auburn tomorrow? Or A&M or State, whoever makes it to Auburn. That is going to be a very late game if they even play it.
Although they'll have to postpone it again. They're not going to go to 1 o'clock in the morning. So
they've done it before.
But if you notice, Friday's an off day.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So they have room to move some games around.
Okay, so yeah, if they end up not doing State Auburn tomorrow night, they could do it Thursday since there's 2 games scheduled for Thursday. And that team wouldn't play till Friday anyway. So that could work in their favor. That being said, if that game were to not happen tomorrow night and get moved to Thursday, then you could see Samuel Dutton pitching in that game. And then we're in a totally different situation here. So that will be interesting to follow, to say the least. And I know one thing. I hope that Auburn and LSU play. I picked State to beat Auburn because State's been hot lately. But my God, do I want Auburn and LSU to play so LSU can get a victory against them. They need it. For my conscience, they need it. But no, I have Florida riding hot. I really do because I think that they might go bullpen tomorrow against Ole Miss, potentially. Because I don't see Ole Miss going with their main guys tomorrow. So I could see something like that happening and then them getting to their normal rotation starting Friday. And if that's the case, then I feel like they have a good shot with Arkansas. They've already beat them this year, so it's not like they can't do it. So that's one to monitor for sure. Now, Arkansas is the betting odds favorite to win the tournament this year, by the way.
Mm.
Is he really, Nate? Oh, gosh. Oof.
And he wonders why I say they're not going to have enough pitching to make it to the weekend. If you're going with your Friday starter on Wednesday, what are you left with the rest of the week?
I think they can figure it out, but man, Johnny Holstaff in the late rounds of the tournament is tough. But that's the one good thing about Hoover is, one, people say it's harder to win than the College World Series. That's debatable. But this is the week where you figure out where your pitching is really at.
Yep.
If you're going in to try to win the tournament.
Yep.
And I think this year is the year where you're going to see more teams trying to win it than ever before. And unfortunately for some, South Carolina and Missouri, the 2 lower ends of the conference, they were eliminated today. So that goes ahead and makes it better for them. State's game being moved tomorrow hurts or helps them. Yeah, you have 2 games in one day, but could ride the momentum. Yeah, I think with them playing
I
early in
think
the
it helps
morning,
A&M.
I think it does too. I think that I think an early game in general, I don't think it'll affect them because if they play at 9:30 in the morning, then play, let's say, at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, so you have to get the game off by 10.
Mhm.
So if they end up doing that tomorrow, I think that's okay, and I think that'll
I've
work out in their favor.
I've been a victim of seeing A&M early in the morning at Hoover. It's yeah, you don't want that.
Sure, absolutely. I think that them having to sleep on. I think tonight, if they would have played tonight, I think State would have won. I really do. And tomorrow, though, that makes it interesting to say the least. Team that
Okay,
breaks.
that's a good question. I got the answer for that.
Ah,
Brody Johnston has multiple home runs in Hoover and announces his presence to the SEC saying, I'm here for 2 more years. Deal with me.
that's a good one. So I think that there is one guy that I would have a huge circle around. I'm talking about so big that you almost don't see his face after as many times as circle him. But I feel like Bear Jones actually. I think he's ready for a big SEC tournament.
That's another one.
Yeah, he's one to look at. But again, though, I mean, if you think about it, so you have these freshmen that have made their presence known. I think a Dylan Volantis could make a impression in Hoover for Texas, especially if they end up playing Tennessee. I think that's just a big matchup in general. I think that could be an interesting one to say the least. Derek Curiel is obviously a candidate for that as a leadoff role at LSU.
He seems like he's hit a wall, though.
A little bit.
The freshman wall.
Yeah. And this is and that's why I'm kind of excited for him. So he had his 43 game on base streak snapped, and then since then he had a really good game after that, but then it kind of trickled off again. And it's not that he's playing bad baseball because he's not in any means by any means. He did have a base running mistake the other day, which was very uncharacteristic, and it genuinely shocked me. But he's one I'm going to keep my eyes on. But a player that you haven't said that, and I'll say it for you, Vastine. That is a guy that
he had a weekend against Kentucky for sure.
I think that's a guy that, as good as he's played defensively this year, I think that he could make a statement. And that's what I'm going to keep an eye on because I just have a feeling that he could be that dude for them. If Vanderbilt is going to power through and try to win this tournament, I think that's a guy that you're going to have to lean on. Because see, Brody, he's never played in this kind of environment before. This is big for him, and I think I think he should do fine. But one thing about him too, you have to consider is he strikes out quite frequently. So that's one thing that you have to kind of have to consider. So
and that's a good update too. Is by all accounts his ankle is fine.
Okay.
Not going to be an issue. That was one of the more incredible things I saw over the weekend. It was Thursday night. He rolled his ankle to the point where he was running to first base and he was limping.
Ooh.
Really, really bad. And Corbin thought about taking him out of the game. Of course, Vastine protested, no, I can't come out. And then hit 2 home runs after that.
There you go.
Including the game winner.
No, I'm sure that even if his ankle is good, I feel like he'll probably have some kind of brace or, have it taped up or something. So he'll be good for that. But no, that is a very good update to get for them.
So if you go back to my graphic, I wanted to touch on
sure.
One of my matchups. You see, I got Vanderbilt and Arkansas in the finals.
Yes.
Yes, Arkansas swept us.
Mm-hmm.
All 3 games, Vanderbilt either led or was tied in the 8th inning or later. There's not much difference between those two teams. I think we come out on the better end of the deal this time.
Well, this time you don't have to play in Fayetteville, so you have a neutral site on your side.
Well, they played in
Was it in
the series.
Nashville?
Yeah, it was in
Oh,
Nashville.
why did I think that was in Arkansas this year? Huh. But no, either way, that's good. I do have to ask you, though, what makes you have Auburn over LSU?
They swept them already.
But it's literally the exact same scenario as Arkansas Vanderbilt.
They swept them already. I just think Auburn's a better team.
I don't know. Auburn from Auburn is not so hot.
I actually said that when they played the first time. I think Auburn's the better team. That's why I picked them to win that series. And I say that knowing that Auburn is older. They have a lot of upperclassmen. LSU's younger, got a lot of young guys playing for them. That age makes a difference.
Yeah.
That's why I think Auburn is the better team between the two.
Yeah. That's fair. I mean, to be fair, half our lineup is at least juniors or seniors, but,
And the other half of your lineup is freshmen.
Freshman or sophomore. I mean, realistically, starting day-to-day starters, we only have just one freshman. Just Curiel. He's the only starter that's a freshman. The rest are sophomores and juniors.
And that's something else. Is I did see a graphic. Aria Yerson put it out about a month ago. And she's really good at doing stuff like this, comparing the ages of all teams. Vanderbilt and Tennessee are 14th and 15th as far as having the oldest rosters. They're two of the youngest teams in the SEC.
That's a good thing.
Still.
Dang. My wife's cats are fighting each other over here. And the white one, she's going after the black one, and she's like biting her on the back of her leg, and you're about to hear some hissing over there. Good Lord. They're getting old, though. They're like 10 years old now, so it's a little different. Actually, they're about 11.
Well, guys from Chinook, I appreciate you guys jumping in here and chatting with us tonight. It's been a lot of fun. I'm going to inbox you guys on Twitter. Look forward to getting a message back from you. But I got something I wanted to talk to you all about, so be expecting that. But I appreciate you guys jumping in and helping us out a little bit tonight.
Absolutely. Much appreciated. Always welcome to join us. All right. Well, hey, Chris, let's do a quick commercial real quick. Right. We've been chatting for an hour straight.
Yeah.
If you're in the Anderson, South Carolina area and you would like a tattoo, go see Jimbo. Feel free to inbox Andrew Anderson and he will send you body shots of all his ink. Whether it's hidden or not, you'll find out. But no, shout out to him for real. Yes, hey, go get you one. A seed. Oh, that'd be cool. Get a seed tattoo. Nah, Andrew, he got him a Pac-Man tattoo recently. That man's getting tatted up like a fool. It's absolutely insane. But I respect it. I do. I got tattoos myself, so I can't really say much. So I like tattoos. All right. So Chris, I think it's time that we talk about our final awards of the season. And the funny thing is, nobody voted on them this week.
No, we didn't even put a thing in to do them.
So guess what? Me being the graphics guy, I took it upon myself to do this. So, yeah.
Oh, God.
The final dirty jockstrap of the year. Because why not? I'm going Texas A&M again. because one, I didn't feel like making a whole new graphic, and two, they didn't do anything good to finish the season. They ended up losing 5-6 to close the year out. I'm sorry, I'm leaving A&M in the jockstrap category. Even though I could have put Kentucky, I could have put West Virginia, I could have put quite a few teams there. I put A&M because I did not want to change the graphic, and I left it as it said.
You know who I would have given the jockstrap to?
Who dat?
And I need this clipped. I would have given the jockstrap to the Iowa Hawkeyes.
That is a fair one, actually.
You're playing. You go into the weekend with a 1-game lead in the Big Ten, knowing that likely if you don't win the Big Ten, you're probably not getting in the tournament.
Exactly. And even if they won the Big Ten, they probably weren't guaranteed still.
So you go into the weekend with a 1-game lead, and you get absolutely raced.
It was embarrassing.
At
home,
no
yeah.
At home, got
to
raced.
Be fair, no, to be fair, it was neutral site in the state of Iowa, but still.
No, it was at home. The neutral site was Oregon State the week before.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes it even worse then.
I'd give it to Iowa.
That's fair.
That's inexcusable.
For sure. For sure. I fully agree. I do. That being said, it's time for the Golden Broom Award. The award voted on by myself because nobody in our group voted this week because we didn't put out a poll. Presented by Chinook Seedery. Promo code Golden Broom for 10% off your order. Best seeds ever. Buy them now. You will not regret it.
I'm firing if you did this, I'm going to fire you.
So let me just say this. A team that I really want to consider this week for the award, and I almost made this for them, so they get a shout out and get a 1B on the award, is the Kansas Jayhawks. Because they swept West Virginia to close out the year, and that was huge.
If you've done what I think you've done, I'm firing your ass.
So the winner of the Golden Broom Award.
You're fired.
Notice the first part of the sentence. Out of spite, we award Vandy with the final Golden Broom of the regular season.
No.
I did it. You couldn't stop me. I'm a terrible person for this. I'm removing the comments so I can read it all. They were able to sweep Kentucky, make a statement, and set themselves up for a chance to land a top 8 seed in the NCAA tournament. Now, Vandy plays the waiting game in Hoover as they will play the winner of Oklahoma and Georgia on Thursday, and with a win would face either Alabama, Tennessee, or Texas.
Nope.
I gave Vanderbilt this award because I have been wanting to give them the award for weeks.
They got it 2 weeks ago.
Hold on, I lost my earpiece. I'm back.
They got it 2 weeks ago. What are you talking about?
Vanderbilt did not. That was unofficially.
Vanderbilt got it 2 weeks ago.
Did they?
They got it the week. They got it the week before the Tennessee series, and then we got boat race. Let's see, what week was it? Was it the week that we played LSU or MTSU? Because we got it, and then we lost that night, and then we lost to Tennessee. It was the week before Tennessee.
Well, my voodoo spirits are coming out of me, and hey, Vandy, you got the broom.
So, number one, they didn't qualify. Yes, they went undefeated for the week, 3-0.
They qualified.
But one of the things we've always said, sweeping a ranked team on the road puts you at the top of the list. That was done.
Yeah.
That was done.
It was.
Okay. Twice this week, that was done.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt didn't deserve the Golden Broom Award. One of those other two teams did.
Why didn't no one vote? I was waiting.
Because you didn't put the poll in like you were supposed to. because you knew exactly what you were going to do.
I knew I definitely did. I woke up this morning and I got to work and I was sitting there thinking, I was like, you know what? I never put that poll in the chat. Uh-oh. And I was like, you know what? Usually I say something about it. I'm like, I'm going to see if Chris can go without noticing it. And then when you started talking about the Storm Chasers, I was like, I win. I got it. I was like, Chris's mind is in a different aspect right now. It is not going to happen. I'm winning this one.
I knew exactly what you were going to do because you told me you were going to do.
That's right. So, yes, I gave it to Vandy, but to be fair, there were other teams more qualifying. I'll admit it. Kansas Jayhawks is who I would have actually voted for.
Mm-hmm.
So, that.
Damn troll.
And I am a troll. I am 100% a troll. I will always be a troll at heart. But no, shout out to Kansas, which, by the way, I don't understand the Big 12 at all because technically Kansas, in my eyes, should have won the conference according to record, but they didn't.
Huh?
Yeah, look at the standings. It makes absolutely no sense. West Virginia finished 19-9. Kansas finished 20-10. They played 2 less games than Kansas. So
that's why they ended up tied. And West
Virginia, they gave it to West Virginia though.
But they should.
Why? They have less wins.
Based on win percentage.
Oh my god.
So they got one less loss.
And one less win.
That's where the difference is. So you're -1 on the wins and +1 on the losses.
I should even it out.
So by percentage points, West Virginia gets it.
I think that they should have labeled that as a tie and said, hey, Kansas just went and swept them.
You can't punish a team for losing 2 games due to weather.
I guess.
Because who's to say they don't go 21-9?
I mean, they could.
You see what I'm saying? You can't punish them for losing 2 games to weather. They had the better win percentage. They get first place.
Yeah, because, I mean, the one game of that series they did play, they did win it by 2. It was at Oklahoma State. No promise that they would have won those 2, but I think they would have at least won one of those. So they would have been it would have I say it would have probably ended up a tie.
And had that, if they would have ended up with the same record, Kansas would have been the 1 seed because they swept them.
Yes. I mean, because Kansas absolutely manhandled them on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was very, very impressive. I mean, they outscored them 18-5 on the weekend. It's pretty good, considering all 5 of those runs came in game 2, shutouts in 1 and 3. So I don't know. I was not happy about that at all, especially considering that the weekend before West Virginia lost their series to Kansas State. But it is what it is. That's how it works. I get it. It's fine.
So.
Yeah, I need to check out Warren Nolan and see if anything is changing in terms of RPI with the conference tournament starting today.
Well, I don't have that pulled up, but I do have this pulled up since I've already got them on here. You can save your search because check it out.
You're good. I would say you're good. I'm still going to pull it up. Always do.
There's your ACC tournament.
Yep. Yeah, well, shout out to Cal, by the way. That was pretty awesome where they got a run rule in Miami. I honestly think that Miami, the way they've closed out the season, they're only
making a coaching change.
Not only that, they also might miss the tournament.
I don't think they were ever in.
Oh yeah, they were. Their
No,
RPI was good. They're at 36 in the RPI. They have a 15-14 ACC record. I mean, I think they
I
were
don't. I don't think they were ever in.
18 wins in Q1 and Q2. I think it's hard to hold them out. That being said, here's a debate to have. Okay,
So, by
so
the
here,
way, Brax Beats. No, the Texas A&M game is not on. It was postponed until tomorrow.
yeah, it'll be tomorrow morning. So looking at this right here in the RPI, currently Miami sits at 36, sitting at 31 and 24. Kentucky is at 37, 29 and 24. When you compare the
I don't.
two teams,
I don't think either one's in.
maybe not. Q1 wins. Miami is 9 and 14. Q1 for Kentucky 8 and 19. Q2 Miami's 9 and 7. Q2 Kentucky 4 and 1. So I mean, and
They're
Miami
the
dropped
same.
from 31 to 36 today, by the way, with that loss to Cal.
They're
That's
the same.
huge. They pretty much are. I mean, they're really close. So some teams to look at that have been considered on the bubble because it's just something to monitor. A lot of people think that Oklahoma State's going to get in the tournament. I
No,
don't
they don't
buy it,
deserve it.
but when I say a lot of people, I'm talking about I would say I've seen at least 10 people in the media say that they think Oklahoma State's getting in. They're sitting
They
with a
say
45 RPI.
they say Texas A&M is getting in too. They're not getting in.
Yeah, A&M's one I'm not holding my breath on them for sure. Let's see.
So what do
Texas A&M currently sits at 56 in the RPI. They're not getting in. A&M
you
is
look at
7 and 16. Good
would you
lord.
look at these conference tournaments and stop worrying about RPI?
I can't. It's impossible.
So what who do you think is who do you think wins this thing?
um It's tough, actually. I will say a sleeper team that I like is Notre Dame because they've really stepped it up in the last few weeks and really won some good games, but I'm not going to pick them to win, but I think it's a team to monitor. Another team is Duke because they've stepped it up as of late, done really well.
They
But
just got rocked by Georgia Tech.
okay, but the last few weeks in
The,
general,
la-
they've
the
stepped it up.
last week they got rocked by Georgia
Sure.
Tech.
I mean, right now, if I ride with who I would go with at this point, I would say North Carolina.
I would go Georgia Tech.
I mean, that's safe to say, but you got to look at Georgia Tech's schedule, though. They had the easiest run in the ACC.
Good is good.
They couldn't beat Clemson. They didn't play Florida State or North Carolina.
Good is good.
Is that good? Your
They
best win is North Carolina State.
they just they just rock Duke too. They've beaten two ranked teams in the SEC in the ACC.
Okay.
Okay, that's not bad. Good is good.
Sure. I'm just not sold on Georgia Tech. They should be good. They got really good talent on their team, but they're good at losing some games they shouldn't lose.
Everybody does.
I am shocked though that Pitt got by Louisville today.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. They're good at losing some games they shouldn't lose. LSU lost to Omaha. Shut up.
Okay. We sure did. We were good at losing a game we shouldn't lose. That being said, let me look something with Louisville real quick. So that's a team to Louisville sitting 31 in the RPI right now, 35-21 overall. They got 12 Q1 wins, so I think they might still be fine.
Louisville is going to be a 2 seed in Nashville. You can bet your bottom
Oh,
dollar on it.
absolutely. That's like peanut butter and jelly. It just goes together. Yeah, man. Louisville did not end very good. They've lost 1, 2, 3, 4. They've lost 6 of their last 7 games to close out the year, including their Georgia Tech series loss on the road. Georgia
Okay,
Tech, on the other
that's
hand,
three. That's three ranked ACC teams Georgia Tech has beaten.
sure. All right, so I'm going to look at Georgia Tech's schedule so I can prove a point. So they had Duke. Good job. They had Louisville. Then they had a series at Western Carolina. So let's see. Lost the series to Virginia. Lost at Auburn. Swept
Auburn's
by
the top eight.
Miami. Hold on. Swept by
Okay.
Miami.
Okay.
Lost to Georgia, which is again is fine.
Georgia and Auburn are not bad losses.
Swept Cal at home. That's expected. Swept Stanford on the road. Again, expected because Stanford is just not there. Lost the series to Clemson. Swept Notre Dame early on, which is still a good one to have at this point because Notre Dame's bounced back. Won 2 of 3 from Pitt. They won 2 of 3 from Virginia Tech. And that's their ACC run. I mean, that's not that bad. If I was a team in the ACC and knew that was my schedule, I would be extremely thrilled.
You're hating.
I'm very much hating. 100% hating. I mean, 19-11 in conference is very good. I'm not going to hate on that.
I hope Georgia Tech gets paired with LSU and they come in there and punch you in the mouth.
I would love to be paired with them. That would actually be a fun series to watch.
Because they can hit home runs with the best of them.
Oh, absolutely. There's no question about it. Let me see how many home runs they end up hitting on the year because I know that they let's see. Because they have a couple of dudes on that team.
They've won 3 series against ranked ACC teams.
Okay. And how many of those teams are currently ranked?
All 3 of them.
Duke isn't ranked. Louisville's not ranked.
Unless they dropped out this week. They were ranked this week when they played them.
I know Duke was not ranked. They got dropped out already.
Duke was ranked in the top 25 this week before they played Georgia Tech.
Do you want to hear a fun stat real quick? This shocked me, actually. How many home runs do you think Georgia Tech has hit on the year as a team? Without looking it up.
About 140.
78.
Okay. That's surprising.
That's what I thought they were in the hundreds for sure. But it's Drew Burris, Alex Hernandez, and Kyle Lotus that's getting it done for them. 16, 13, and 14 respectively. I mean, no knocking that. I mean, that's impressive. But the one stat that I love about Georgia Tech, and I give them their props on, 141 doubles. That's very impressive. Strikeouts, 398. That's a little high. Walks, 289. Team on-base percentage, 418. Team batting average, 316. So that's not bad at all. Let's see. Pitching, team ERA 4.67, respectable considering most teams are in that 4 range anyway. But they had a lot of arms throw this year though, with a decent amount of innings in them. Looks like they have 2 starters that were consistently starters all year. Strikeout wise, 476 as a team, not bad. But again, they had they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Dang, 23 pitchers throw for them this year. That's a lot. And of those pitchers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them had under 10 innings this year. So 13 pitchers really went for them this year. Not bad. Not bad at all, actually. Yeah. That's respectable. So let me ask you, of all the players you can think of in the country, who's your favorite to win the Golden Spikes this year?
I haven't even looked at it yet, to be honest.
My pick comes from Florida State. Alex Lotus. Dude's a stud. 100% my pick. I didn't understand the Golden Spike semifinalists. They were like, as a LSU homer, Cade Anderson getting on there, but Anthony Ianson not getting on there, I was not a fan of. Like, if you replace one with the other, I would be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying any of our other players should have been on there. I mean, I think as a collective, our team is good, but like having multiple on there for Golden Spikes, nah. I think Bear Jones is the one guy that could have earned his way to there, which, I mean, he played great defense, but his bat, while it was good this year, it cooled off a little bit, and he became more susceptible to the strikeout as the year went on, unfortunately. But he has improved.
I'm just scrolling through here.
I would say, okay, so tomorrow some of these tournaments start. I got you.
Yep. We're only not interested in talking about the Big Ten because that's a crazy. They do pool play, and
I don't like pool play. I don't like it at all. Ivy League is done. Columbia won that one. We already got that graphic in the group.
Wait a minute.
What?
Harvard is the automatic qualifier.
What?
I'm pretty
How?
sure Harvard.
No.
I don't know. Let me.
No, it's Columbia. You shared it in the group. Yeah, you shared. Oh, you put Harvard with a with a picture of Columbia.
I'm going to show you the tweet.
Well, then they messed up. Let's see.
Yeah. The tweet shows it's been edited now. Because it did say Harvard. Shout out to Holy Cross for winning the Patriot League.
Did you see how they won that?
I did not see what I know they had to win 2 games.
You need to find the video after the show and watch it. It's pretty cool. It was a walk off. It was just very cool dramatics how it happened. I mean, nothing really dramatic, but it was theatrics. That's the word for it.
If I'm not mistaken, I heard a stat, something about Army. This is like 30 consecutive years they've won a game in the Patriot in their conference tournament.
Oh yeah,
something crazy like that.
Let's see. It's actually kind of crazy that Army didn't win the tournament, to be honest. But yeah, their season's done. They finished 25-25 on the year. All right, so what we got here? Texas State. I saw they won today. All right, so Georgia Southern, Arkansas State going. Looks like Southern probably going to win that one. Troy should win. Southern Miss. Ooh, Southern Miss Texas State will be a good matchup. I think Southern Miss will probably win it though. Coastal should beat Georgia Southern.
Yeah.
UL and Marshall. Marshall might actually pull that one out because UL is not good this year.
Yeah. I'm just going to have to go Southern Miss winning this tournament.
It's going to be Southern Miss or Coastal, I think. Wait, go back up to the SWAC. Hold on. Go to the SWAC. Go to the SWAC. So that starts tomorrow. Okay. I wouldn't mind going to check out one of those games because watching a game at Rickwood is just awesome.
Yeah.
This is going to sound crazy, but this is actually a tournament I'm going to keep my eyes on. I'm going to watch these games.
I need my Bison to pull through and get to the dance for me.
For sure. I mean, considering my team has played two of those teams, the two that are playing each other, Omaha and North Dakota State, I would like to see that game tomorrow because the one thing I can say is their records may not show it, but they got some absolute dudes on those teams.
Yep.
West Coast Conference, another fun conference to watch. Portland.
San Diego, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, but Portland's a team to watch. I mean, they did have a no throw in this year, so something to monitor for sure. Dang, Tarleton State goes down. Utah Tech's about to beat Cal Baptist, it looks like, because it's in the 11th. Utah Valley is a team that I always like to keep an eye on. But this one I'll probably stick with I want to say Sac State, but I think Abilene Christian might actually win this. Grand Canyon, though, they're a dark horse in everything, so watch out for them.
Mm-hmm. And that's all of them.
Hey, go to the SEC real quick. I like looking at the graphic like this because it just it makes it a little bit easier. All right. So tomorrow, with a lot of games going down, give me an upset pick. It doesn't have to match your bracket. Just give me an upset pick that you think could happen.
Upset pick?
Yeah.
Oklahoma over Georgia could happen.
I like that one.
Texas A&M gets by Mississippi State. I could see them beating Auburn.
Yeah. I'm going Alabama over Tennessee. I think Tennessee tournament ends tomorrow. Why not?
That'd be wild.
It really would be. But again, I mean, Tennessee's not really playing for much in this tournament. I think that in their heads, they're basically saying, hey, if we host, cool. If not, we're a 2 seed. Great. I will say that Tennessee,
you want to go into the tournament.
It's true. I mean, I'd much rather be playing at home than on the road in the tournament because, I mean, let's just be real. It's almost impossible to win on the road. But no, a lot of good baseball coming up this week. Very excited to check it out tomorrow. Can't wait. A lot of good games to monitor.
Did you make a graphic for the all SEC teams?
I did not because I was so sickened by it.
Craziness.
I know. It's like I understand why some of the players got it, but
Florida beating Ole Miss.
I think Florida beats Ole Miss.
I don't think so.
I got Florida rolling. I'm rolling with Florida. I really am. They're good. They really are. I don't think they're going to win the tournament, but I think they can make a run. But no, the all SEC team. So some things that I considered when I was looking into some stats was I want to know how many of these guys were picked for this team based off of their overall stats versus their only in their conference stats. Because if you look at conference only, it's a huge difference.
So I have an issue at catcher.
Okay.
Yeah, Shelton's a great hitter.
Mm-hmm.
But he's absolutely bottom of the league throwing people out.
Yeah. I know this is a debate we've already had.
How do you get all SEC when you're one of the worst catchers at throwing people out?
It's fair. So who would have been your guy for catcher?
Obviously not Shelton. Not Connor Peebles. Not guys that got ran on a lot. No.
After the Vanderbilt series, you wouldn't go with Peoples?
Yeah, I'm running on him all day.
Man, poor guy.
I'm running on.
Poor guy.
We did the same thing to Florida. We ran on Shelton all day. All
Yeah.
day. All 3 days we ran on him. I don't know that I wouldn't put LSU's catcher in there.
So the problem for us with our catcher is that we have two catchers.
Yeah, and that's our problem is we had two, Mac Rose and Colin Barksey, so I can't put either one of them in there.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Hernandez has done a phenomenal job at catcher for us this year. I'm actually very, very impressed with his play. He does all the mechanics right, and I like to see that. He's got a good arm on him too, very good arm. But I wouldn't put him as all SEC. Nah, not this year. He's a senior, so there's no chance for him to win it again. But Auburn's catcher Chase Fralick, I felt like he had a really good year. That was one that you could have considered for it, but if I'm not mistaken, I think he made the all freshman team though, so I'm fine with that. But if you really think about it, though, this year was kind of a quiet year for catchers. There wasn't that one, usually every year there's like that one guy that just stands out as like the next, stud in the MLB, but I just don't think we had that this year. And that's no knock at anybody. I mean, there was quality play from these catchers, but
and like I said, Shelton can absolutely rake.
Mm-hmm.
But defensively, he's at the bottom of the league and throwing people out. His percentages are not great.
Yeah. Let's see.
I don't know. That's one spot I had an issue. Relief pitchers.
Yeah. And it wasn't Shelton, it's Luke Heyman, by the way. That was their catcher.
Right, Luke Heyman. I got Shelton on the mind.
Yeah, he's hurt.
Shelton's hurt. That's why he's on my mind. Yeah, Luke Heyman. But, relief pitching. Put 3 relievers on first team All SEC, and one of them's not Sawyer Hawks.
I mean, to be fair, they had better stats than Hawks, though.
Hawks has 0 blown saves. He's second in the SEC in saves.
Okay, but all these relievers aren't closers.
He's second in the SEC in saves.
Mm-hmm.
With 0 blown saves.
Okay.
And missed 2 weeks of the season.
So there's, let's see.
Three relief pitchers and Sawyer Hawks ain't one of them is absolutely nuts.
I'm about to do a comparison. All right, Sawyer Hawks 1.55 ERA. That's actually very impressive. So why did he not get first team? I didn't realize his ERA was that low.
Because he missed 2 weekends.
But he still went
dealing with a funeral.
But he still went 40 innings.
Yeah.
Let's see. And I know like another one that didn't make it for relief pitching, which I get it, was Kason Evans from LSU because he got transitioned to the Sunday starter role for a little bit. Zach Cowan that made first team, he had more strikeouts. He went more innings. He had a 2.38 ERA to close out. I mean, he was absolutely dominant for the last 2 weeks of the season, though. And he just got beat up a little bit, and they were just figuring his pitching out, unfortunately. But I'm not too worried about it going forward. I think he'll be fine. Just got to get that changeup located a little bit better, and he'll be rolling. So
and then all defensive team. how do you not put the best defensive catcher or shortstop on the all defensive team?
That's a fair one that I'm gonna give you on that one because I mean, so I'm gonna pull up these stats real quick because I think it's something worth looking at. Um, come on, internet. There you go. All right, current year. Let's look at this. All right. All right, so Vastine 986 with 2 errors. I mean, that's really good. You go to my team because I also said that my player should have been considered for it. 984 with 3 errors. So I mean, literally,
Yeah.
there's a which I mean, like I said, like I told you, 1A, 1B, I'd put Vastine A, Milam at B because I mean that's just for a shortstop that's absolutely unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
A good actually a great shortstop will have 8 to 10 errors in a season. It's just natural baseball. Having that low, it's saying something. So let me see. First team. All right. So I get Aloy making it for his bat. That actually, I am okay with that actually.
So
So
I'm just
for
talking about
the player teams, but defensively that is different. So second team Justin LeBron. Okay. So then we go to the defensive team. So why are they gonna have 3 third basemen but only have 1 shortstop? Like, I don't, I don't get that. Let's see. Bama baseball stats. I've got to see something. Let's see.
the
Let's go to
only reason they
buildings.
put Justin LeBron on there was to get him a postseason award that he didn't deserve.
Justin LeBron, 7 errors, 969. Fielding percentage. He did have a lot of chances. 229 chances to Milam's 187 and Vastine had 144. So I mean,
Do you know why those chances are lower for Vastine?
well, for
Because
both of us,
Vanderbilt,
we have good
because
pitching that gets a lot of strikeouts. Both of our, I mean, Vandy's only got like a couple more strikeouts than LSU. I mean, let's see. Um,
did you see the numbers between Vanderbilt and Tennessee?
oh yeah, it was like right
Like
on the
they're
line too.
yeah, like one
Yeah.
strikeout difference and one like 4 plate appearances difference, and it's
Okay.
like
So
Jesus.
yeah. So here you go. I mean, Vanderbilt 619 on the season. LSU 611. So like right there with each
Yeah,
other. Eight difference in their strikeouts. Let's go to Bama and their pitching. Let's see where they're at. So I think that's worth looking into. So oh, no wonder. Yeah. 516. So 100 less. So that makes sense. And shortstop's a hot spot where the ball's going to go. So I get it. But yeah, I'm with you. I don't think LeBron should have gotten the all defensive team at all. I think there should have been an asterisk, and they should have had Vastine and Milam. I think that would you have been okay with that?
oh yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, now if we went overall, like I get why why Milam didn't get it because his bat was not as good as it was last year. He hit two. I mean, don't get me wrong. He hit 281, had 55 hits, 10 home runs. I mean, great season for the guy.
so
And then Vastine 287, 51 hits. So actually, I mean, Milam actually had a better season offensively.
yeah. But if you're given a defensive reward, you
Yeah.
shouldn't
So
put
you go to the
offensive number.
defense.
Yeah,
I mean, the fact that you have 2 shortstops in the league that had only 3, one had 3 and the other had, or one had what? Yeah, 3 and one had 2 on errors. I mean, that's unheard of.
so remember, one of the errors that Vastine had was against Tennessee. Do you
Yeah.
know how bad the error was?
How bad?
He threw it a little bit wide. He was going the opposite direction, throwing back across the body to first base. Threw it a little bit wide that didn't get past the first baseman. Still caught it. He just pulled him.
Yeah. So, okay. 2015 was Bregman and Swanson's last year's, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go here and look at this. Dansby Swanson. Good God. Vanderbilt had 703 strikeouts that year. Dansby had 304 chances. That is absurd. But Dansby had 8 errors on the season.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, a great shortstop's going to have 5 or 7 to 10 errors.
Connor Kaiser actually went. Was it his junior? Either one year Connor Kaiser went and only had 1 error.
Yeah.
So shortstop.
So another one to look at that year. Alex Bregman, 359 chances, 9 errors. So again, great defensive play. And LSU had 560 strikeouts that year. That is unfreaking heard of. And both those teams were very good that year too.
So you're saying that's unheard of, but listen to these numbers. Vanderbilt finished the regular season with the number 1 pitching staff in the country in both strikeout percentage, 30.7, and strikeout to ball percentage at 21.3.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt finished ahead of Tennessee in both metrics by the tiniest of percentage points. Listen how close these numbers are. Vanderbilt, 619 strikeouts. Tennessee, 620 strikeouts.
It's amazing.
Vanderbilt, 189 walks. Tennessee, 190 walks.
I mean, that's just unheard of.
Vanderbilt, 2017 batters faced. Tennessee, 2022 batters faced. A difference of 5 batters.
That's amazing. My God, just looking at these, so I'm still looking at these 2015 stats. I mean, this is unheard of. Vanderbilt had 2 pitchers with at least 110 strikeouts. You had Fulmer with 167, but he also threw 127 innings, which is amazing.
Yeah.
You had Philip Pfeiffer go 96 innings with 118 strikeouts. You have Walker Buehler go 88 innings with 92 strikeouts. Then you have Kyle Wright, who had 62 strikeouts. You have, I'm not saying his name.
He was a freshman.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's just, my God. I forgot how stacked this team was. And the fact that team lost over 20 games is even crazier.
Did you know that was the only year that Dansby Swanson played shortstop in college?
Yeah, because he was, third baseman, wasn't he?
No.
Was he?
His freshman year, he was a DH.
Okay.
His sophomore year, he played second base.
Okay.
And then his junior year, he played shortstop and became the number 1 draft pick.
I gotcha. So I want you to guess for me what Vanderbilt's ERA was that year.
I think it was like 2.94.
2.84.
Yeah.
That's unheard of, man. I don't think you'll ever see a staff in college do that again. Not in D1 anyway. And then in LSU's that year was 2.98. I mean, that's just...
So you guys had, I think one of the Nola brothers was still there.
No. Nola's gone. So we had Alex Lang as our main starter. We had Jared Poche as our second starter. But that was a year we did not have a consistent number 3 guy. Because we started with Jake Godfrey, who the dude could pump some gas.
14, you had Nola.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
13, I think. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, we did have him in 14. Okay. To this day, Aaron Nola is my GOAT pitcher of my lifespan, of course, of being able to follow college baseball, obviously, because I wasn't around for the Ben McDonald days. That was before my time. I mean, the Doug Thompsons that come through. I mean, Paul Bird. I mean, you had a lot of good guys come through there, but that was when I was so young. I was so young. So, like, with watching it with my eyes, where I fully understand the game and 100% pay attention to the game, Aaron Nola is my GOAT. Nothing but love to Paul Skeens and everything he did, but I only got him for a year, which obviously worked out very well. But man,
Do you know
Nola.
how close? Do you know how close that was to you guys not having him?
Well, we put the comma in the right place, I guess.
He was in Nashville ready to sign his papers. And LSU called with an NIL offer.
I would love to hear him sit down and actually tell the story of his transfer, because I would like to hear it from his mouth, actually everything that went down and like what went through his head during that process. Because Paul's a very loyal guy.
Uh-huh.
He's not one that he's not going to just make a commitment and not follow through. Like, he follows through with his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I would love to just kind of pick his brain and just, like, hear his side of things.
And even after he was at LSU, when Sawyer Hawks hit the transfer portal from Air Force,
Mm-hmm.
he told Sawyer Hawks, "You need to go to Vanderbilt."
Yeah. Which that was one question I'd like to ask Sawyer is about his year with Skeens. And like what he learned from him and all that. Because I mean, obviously when you're around a guy that's a two-way player like that and doing what he was doing up there, I mean, that's your leader. That's who you're going to learn from.
Yeah.
And we will get to ask that story in the near future.
Soon.
So very much looking forward to that. Well, Chris, we are hitting our 2-hour mark. So you know what that means. It's time for some final thoughts.
Final thoughts? Final thoughts. I need to see North Dakota State win the Summit League.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I love Oral Roberts, I just love everything about that program. I just want to see North Dakota State get in.
I'm with you on that one. You've wanted that for years.
To see what they have to fight against year in and year out, going on the road and playing all these top 25 programs year in and year out and getting their brains beat in, and finally being able to compete for a conference championship and having a team that, they played Oral Roberts. Oral Roberts took 2 out of 3 from them, sure, but they competed.
Exactly.
I want to see the Bison get in. Look out for stolen bids.
Yes. One team to look out for, and it kind of warms my heart that they're probably going to make the tournament, is Xavier. The hell they had to go through with their schedule this year, playing Tennessee, LSU, and Vanderbilt. That sucks.
Back to back.
Yes, like that's the absolute worst thing you could possibly go through.
For it.
Yeah, and yet they bounced back, had a great season, and are set up really good in the RPI. Which, hey, they may have lost those games, but it looks good on their schedule to have it on there. So looking forward to that for sure.
So, coaching changes.
Oh yeah.
I follow Kendall Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
He says he knows things that are going to happen, and some of them are going to shock some people at big name programs. I think Paul Maneri gets let go.
Okay. Big buyout.
I think Michael Early gets let go at Texas A&M. I think Miami makes a change.
Miami's one that I think you're right on for sure.
Mississippi State's already fired their guy. So you got 4 Power 4 programs that are elite. They're going to be throwing around some money to look for some new guys.
Now, my question is this. Should Texas A&M get eliminated in Hoover early. Let's say they lose tomorrow morning.
He's done by the end of the week.
That's what I was going to ask. But then again, do they ride it out and wait and see
No,
if they make it or not?
They're not going to get in with 12 wins.
I mean, I don't think they get in. I don't, but you just never know. Now, I am shocked that
we do know.
The way that it is now is just different.
We do know. No 12 and 18 team has ever gotten in. Period. The end. Never.
No, I mean, you're right.
They're not going to change it now. They're not going to leave Kentucky out and put Texas A&M in.
That's fair. Now, let me ask you though, how many wins does Texas A&M need in Hoover to potentially sneak in?
They have to win the whole damn thing.
That's fair. That's very fair.
And that would be a stolen bid.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely. I think that I wouldn't be surprised that if South Carolina were to make a decision on Maneri, if it was announced by the end of the week. To be honest.
Oh yeah, them too. Yeah, by the end of the week.
But my question is this: does South Carolina fire him, or do they convince him to retire?
He's going to retire.
But then again,
he's going to do Ray Tanner a favor and resign, so they don't have to pay the buyout.
That would be respectful. I just don't see Paul doing it. I don't see him doing it again. That's why I don't see him doing it again.
He only took the South Carolina job because Ray Tanner's his friend.
Yeah, I mean it was a favor to take that job. I think it was two things. I think South Carolina needed to fill the role. They wanted to fill it with someone that had better knowledge of the game, and Paul Maneri also had the itch to get back into coaching. They knew it, and they were like, "Hey, this could actually work." And unfortunately, the experiment has not worked. Which I have a Paul Maneri story that I don't really share. I wouldn't share it publicly, but there's a reason I'm not a big fan of Paul Maneri, actually. It's a personal reason.
So if you're South Carolina, who do you look at?
That's the thing. South Carolina could essentially hire anyone they want to.
But can they?
I mean, financially they can. I mean, if you're a young coach looking to establish yourself somewhere, I feel like somewhere like South Carolina is the spot. That being said, I think if they make a hire, it would be someone that is on the coast over there already. Should it be Coastal's coach, ECU's coach, someone like that? Potentially. I could just see something like that happening. But then again, do you want to make a risk and go after a Big 12 coach? Do you want to go after a Dan Fitzgerald and see if you can pull him away from Kansas? You just never know. But the options are endless there. But that being said, if you were a coach and you were approached for a job, which one would you take? Mississippi State or South Carolina?
So
those are equal jobs, pretty much.
So that's a good question. But they're not equal jobs. South Carolina is a better job. There's something intrinsically broken at Mississippi State.
That's fair.
Because if you look back at their record, yeah, they had a good 5-year run where they won the College World Series 5 straight years. Cool. Mm-hmm. Beyond that, do you know how many last place or how many times they've finished in the SEC in the bottom 3?
Probably a lot.
A lot.
The 80s were a good time for Mississippi State.
There's something intrinsically broken about that program. Yeah, they have the great facilities, no question about it.
Mm-hmm.
But when the program is intrinsically broken, is it a better job? The only argument it has going forward is facilities. I would put South Carolina as a better job.
That's fair.
If South Carolina does make a move, I think they pull in a sitting head coach from the SEC.
That's fair. So they're going to get Carrot Jackson, right?
Nope.
Nah, I'd say. Who would you get?
Nick Mingione.
I mean, that's a fair one to throw out there after this season. Now, here's a question. If A&M parts ways with Michael early, do you consider this? Do you consider a conversation with him of, hey, we don't want to fire you, but we want you to step down and go back into an assistant role? Because he's very well loved there.
That'll never happen.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they go after another sitting head coach in the SEC.
Who?
Skip Johnson.
That one would be a good one to go after. I feel like after the season that Oklahoma's had the last few years, I think he's a good candidate for a lot of big jobs. I could see that.
And yes, he did just sign an extension last year, but Texas A&M's got all kinds of money they can throw at him.
True. Now, another thing to consider too is, do you think Mississippi State's already made their hire and they're just waiting to announce it out of respect of the person they're going to hire? Maybe not signed contracts yet, but it's already decided.
I'm just going to say this. Their next head coach is a former pitching coach at LSU.
Who?
Who's a former pitching coach at LSU that's had some track record of success as a head coach in the SEC?
Oh, Wes Johnson?
Game over.
I don't know about that one.
Game over.
I don't know.
Game over.
I could see it.
We talked about it already.
Yeah.
Biggest reason he went to Georgia is because they were building the pitching lab.
Yeah.
Facilities are what matters to him. He has no loyalty to anyone.
It's true.
Why would you stick around if you got those kinds of facilities being offered to you? See ya.
Yeah. Yeah, because from what I was told, Jay told him to take the Georgia job, obviously. There was no bad blood between the two, and that was a great opportunity. So, I mean, yeah. Huh. I guess we're going to find out soon.
That would
be interesting.
That would be 3 SEC coaches on the move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think it's safe to say that coaches that will not be leaving this year are probably Sully will probably just stay in Florida. He'll entertain 1,000. He'll be interested in jobs, but not do anything with it. Jay Johnson, Tony Vitello, Tim Corbin, all of them are going to stay at their roles.
Or could Mississippi State pull something that nobody saw coming?
Who, Tony?
Kevin O'Sullivan. I have seen that name mentioned with that job multiple times in the last 2 weeks.
I mean, he would fit very well. I wouldn't argue it. Well, it seems like we've got an action-packed show for next week then, because I have a feeling we'll probably hear some stuff by then.
Oh, yeah, we will.
But then again, maybe, I don't know.
And the tournament gets announced Sunday.
Exactly. So yeah, we'll have a lot to talk
No,
about there.
Gets announced Monday.
Yeah.
The regional host get announced
Sunday, yeah. Or no, I thought it was the top 8 seeds get announced Sunday.
Regional hosts get announced Saturday. Top 8 seeds on Sunday. Tournament on Monday.
Gotcha. Yep. So we got a lot to talk about next Tuesday. Another thing to consider before I give my final thoughts is that Mississippi State may be waiting to announce something based off of the fact that their team is very much in the hunt to be in the NCAA tournament.
Or the guy that they've got to deal with is still actively coaching and will be coaching for a couple more weeks.
For sure. So we'll see. Well, anywho, to close this thing out, I hope everybody has a great week, enjoys the tournaments, enjoys the pick'em shows that come out. We'll be back here next Tuesday night, and I may go live from Hoover on one of our channels, so feel free to look into that. But that's all I got. Have a good night. Thanks for watching, and yeah, go Tigers.
On the diamond with a